Minnesota pays tribute tomorrow to all of those who have and are serving in our military. The Minnesotan Military Appreciation Fund is putting on the Say Thanks Day walk and run. Everything kicks off with registration at 8 tomorrow morning at 4500 Victory Memorial Drive in Minneapolis. That's followed by a T6 flyover, lots of other activities as well. Fox 9's Heidi Collins is going to be there hosting festivities. MMAF gives cash grants to Minnesota military personnel who have been deployed to combat since 9/11. So if you get a chance, get out there and support our troops.
Group is the Minnesotans Military Appreciation Fund. This is a statewide fundraising initiative to benefit Minnesota military personnel and their families. Tomorrow they're hosting Say Thanks Day. It's a 5K run and 2-mile walk on Victory Memorial Drive and 45th Avenue North in Minneapolis.
And there's a lot of folks involved in this one. It features live entertainment, a flyover, a 21-gun salute. This is a major deal in Minneapolis. And also Saturday, June 18th, want to make you aware of this. MMAF is hosting the Patriot Ride. It's a motorcycle ride in Ham Lake benefiting the Minnesotans Military Appreciation Fund. Now, the 5K walk and run, part of Say Thanks Day, is tomorrow, June 11th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It all happens at 45th Avenue North and Victory Memorial Drive in Minneapolis. Registration for the run and walk starts at 8 a.m. Motorcycle ride is in Ham Lake Saturday, June 18th. For information on both events, call 1-877-MN-THANKS. That's with an X at the end, or head to KARE-11.com and click on Community.
Minnesota pays tribute to our men and women in service. Folks operating the Minnesota Military Appreciation Fund saying thank you with a walk and run this morning in Minneapolis. There's our own Heidi Collins. The day included the presentation of several cash grants to military members and their families. One of the special guests has included Corporal John Elliott, who was honored for his service in Iraq. The Bloomington native went through 7 major explosions and was shot twice. For his brave service, he has received 3 Purple Hearts, and he is just 24 years old. And as you saw there a moment ago, our very own Heidi Collins served as MC for the event, and that is certainly nice to see.
On Fox at 9, a great live interview you got to make sure that you catch. We're talking with a 3-time Purple Heart recipient. You see him there, Army Corporal John Elliott. He's from the Twin Cities. He served a year in Iraq. He survived 7 explosions and was shot twice, all before he turned 21 years old. Hear the story from this incredible hero coming your way at 9.
Wow.
Yeah, meanwhile, we want to get a check on the weather, because that was the dedication that I was at with the Minnesota Military Appreciation Fund, and it was a gorgeous day. I had the honor of being the MC at an event over the weekend, raising money for our troops. It happened on Saturday with the Minnesota Military Appreciation Fund. They held a walk and run in Minneapolis. It was called Say Thanks Day. One of the special guests included Corporal John Elliott, honored for his service in Iraq. The Bloomington native went through 7 major explosions and was shot twice while serving. For his bravery, he has since received 3 Purple Hearts just as a 24-year-old man. The group giving him cash grants of $14,000. Incredible organization that we'll talk about in a moment. But joining me now tonight is Corporal John Elliott. Thanks so much for being in here. Kind of last minute, but we so appreciate it because we want to hear more about your story. When people hear that we just talked about, 7 explosions, you were shot twice. It happened in a pretty short amount of time. It was something like 10 or 11 months that you were in Iraq. How do you explain that? I mean, some people would say that is just terrible luck, and others would understand this was the nature of the combat.
Yeah, definitely. We were there during the surge, so we're going to a lot of new places, and the enemy was thick at the time, and we knew what we were getting into, so we got in the thick of it. And sometimes you come out a champion. Sometimes coming out a champion means you bleed a little bit. I had to bleed, but it was a job that had to get done.
Well, everyone so appreciates everything that you have gone through, and I know that we have some photos too. You were driving a Bradley, is that right, when this happened?
The first initial explosion, I was driving a Bradley, that's correct.
Tell us what happened.
We were driving, we hit a deep buried IED, which means that an explosion comes up from under the vehicle. We got refit, got a medic in there, got me bandaged up, evac'd out, got hit again on the way to the evac vehicle, but we are all able to get out. But 2 people lost their leg that day, so, you know, I was definitely the, not definitely not the worst of the injuries.
Yeah, well, we hear that a lot. We know that this war has certainly brought about a lot of amputees, a lot of casualties. What about now? You have 3 Purple Hearts. You were honored just Saturday by the MMAF. And now, if I understand correctly, you're talking about becoming a chemical engineer, or you're going organic chemistry?
Right.
Something with chemistry.
Definitely. I've found that education really just helps out get through some of the dark times, and it helps motivate your mind to be, I should say, promoting just good, healthy knowledge and the ability to allow yourself to progress through school and to get that done, to feel accomplished, really. And so that's what I'm going for, that sense of accomplishment by being able to get a degree, and then hopefully after that pursuing higher goals.
Yeah, sure. You want to continue working with the military in some form?
That would definitely be something I would like to do if that opportunity, brings up itself. It rises, yes.
Yeah. So now what about the MMAF? They've been able to award you this money. What has that meant to you? How does that work?
Oh, it's been a huge blessing. I had no idea they even existed until it was brought to my attention. And I couldn't believe there was a group out there. But that just shows just the warm hearts and just the love of Minnesota, and that's what it's always given me, and then that's one of the reasons why I served, because of my state. So for my state to be so generous and give back to me, it's one of the greatest things I could ever get.
Well, again, it seems so menial to tell you thank you for your service, but we really do mean that very much from the bottom of our hearts, and want to make sure that everybody understands what Minnesotans Military Appreciation Fund is. If you are interested, we have set up a link to our website. You can just go to myfox9.com. Pretty amazing program that I've gotten to know well here. And Corporal John Elliott, sure do appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here brings us an event to benefit the Minnesotans Military Appreciation Fund.
This fund is a nonpartisan, all-volunteer group that raises money to give financial grants to Minnesota's military families to say thank you for their service. This Saturday is the 6th annual Patriot Ride. It's a 75-mile motorcycle ride that is expected to attract 2,500 riders. Some of the proceeds will also benefit the Minnesota Patriot Guard, which honors fallen Minnesota service members by ensuring an atmosphere of dignity and respect for those in mourning by visiting VA medical centers and veterans homes, as well as other services, to show respect.
The 6th annual Patriot Ride is Saturday, June 18th at Lions Park in Ham Lake. On-site registration runs from 9 a.m. to 11:30, with the ride starting at noon. Learn more by heading to KARE11.com. Click on Community to find Coffee with Care.